This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Rachel Consola standing by, caller 9 right now, 844-999. Ola will play Profile this in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, Disneyland is now selling a pizza with pickles as a topping.
Disneyland should go F itself.
Yeah, that's not what I would do.
What, F yourself or get a pizza with pickles?
Get a pickle pizza.
Okay. Because I'd F myself. If I could, I would. People like, F yourself.
No, they should
Is it like a cheeseburger pizza, or are they just throwing pickles on stuff?
It doesn't matter. It's disgusting and it's unnecessary.
Disneyland's food is just okay. I remember it being much better. Like, they should go more toward the Major League Baseball philosophy of food, I think.
You can't go. They've got you. You're not going to leave the property.
Food. You know
they
what I mean?
don't have to. The mouse is playing you, man.
I know. I got screwed on some terrible food.
Gosh, I've been eating dog food my whole life.
It wasn't the worst. It was okay.
Just not.
I'm guessing it's price point.
I made the wrong pick. I shouldn't have got a. How do you F up a shrimp po' boy?
You ordered one at an amusement park?
Yeah, right. Well, I was
found the one way.
I was in the French Quarter area, whatever.
A man ran the London Marathon yesterday in 2 hours and 36 minutes while dressed as Forrest Gump. 2 hours and 36 minutes.
That's great.
And he set a world record for fastest marathon time while dressed as a movie character.
But that's got to be the easiest one to dress as. I mean, the character himself was a runner.
Right?
Wearing shorts. It should also be noted, in that same marathon, someone else dropped dead.
Which is crazy, because the Boston one recently was freezing.
Right, and this one was super hot.
And then the London one was super hot.
Mm-hmm. And you know, they haven't been able to play half the Major League Baseball games because of snow. I wonder what's going on.
I don't know. But it's not our fault.
Around the world. It's crazy.
A 20-year-old woman in Texas was, quote-unquote, fooling around and play fighting with her boyfriend when she apparently got carried away and bit his ear off.
Okay. No. I mean...
She said she got carried away.
You get carried away, maybe even a gun goes off, or you choke someone off but to bite my ear off, it just seems to me there's plenty of time for you to say, maybe I'm biting too hard.
Is he a leper?
Well, no, because he didn't lose it himself.
I just, like you said, because I'm agreeing with you. She's saying that she got a little out of hand. You bit the man's ear off. That you don't just softly bite into an ear and it comes off.
Was he headbutting her? I mean, that's what Tyson's excuse was.
But he didn't bite the whole thing off, just the top.
Just the top.
A high school teacher in California is on administrative leave after bringing a bazooka to school earlier this month.
Jesus Christ.
To show off to students in his history class. I'd want to be in that history class.
I mean, I assume it's not loaded. It's just, the empty tube?
Right.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's like, dude, it's an empty tube. At that point, it's not, come on.
Show them how to set it off, all that stuff. The CDC issued a warning the other day telling people to avoid all romaine lettuce.
I've been saying that for years.
Because it could be contaminated with E. coli.
I did not give that reason. I just said it tastes like ass. But either way, it adds up the same thing.
I thought initially they said they knew where that outbreak was from, and now it seems like they're not sure.
Really?
Like, first they said, don't eat the Arizona lettuce.
Yeah,
and
then
now they kind of
a couple hours later.
Man, maybe it
don't
wasn't
eat
just
it.
the Arizona lettuce.
Don't eat it, period.
Maybe it was just the lettuce.
If a friend needed a place to crash, how long would you let them stay?
Are they staying at my place or somewhere else?
My guess is yours.
It depends on the situation.
Yeah,
maybe a week or two.
Maybe a week.
Yeah, 2 weeks would
and
be
that's
super
bad situation.
Maybe, because that's like an East Coast visitor.
22% of people in a recent survey said up to a week. That was the most popular answer.
Up to. But you notice what they're saying is, I'd prefer it if you didn't. A week is your limit.
1%.
That'd have to be some very tough circumstances for that dude.
Very, 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 very tough.
1% said up to a year. And 9% said stay as long as you want.
Those, you know what? You don't want to stay with people that say that.
No.
Those people are so lonely and staring at their 18 cats. Like, that's all right, man.
Set a time, folks. Set a time.
Or maybe it just matters where you live. Like, I live in a one-bedroom apartment. Like, nobody's staying for that long. Right. But, I mean, I guess if I had a house and had an extra room, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but at some point you show up in my kitchen, you sneak up my bathroom. It's not, for me, it's like, look, I don't care if you're sleeping on my sofa or in a bedroom where I don't see you. That's not the hard part. The coexistence, just like a roommate. Bathroom, kitchen, all that stuff. That's not okay. You cannot stay in my place long enough where anyone has to buy you groceries. You know what I mean? If I open my fridge and it's like, oh, that's my beer. Like, no, it is not your beer. It is my beer.
A new survey found 56% of first-time hookups involve awkward sex.
Yeah, because
it's the first time.
Yeah, it's like,
if it makes you feel any better, every time you have sex with me, it's awkward.
look,
You never get used to it.
Mike, you can drive, but if we put you in a minivan, it's going to be a little bit different than the car you're driving right now. It's going to take you a while to get adjusted, right?
It's going to handle different.
Yeah.
I got to get comfortable.
Sure.
I got to
adjust the seat, the whole 9 yards.
Get the radio tuned up right.
You got mirrors all right. Sure.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah, I've only had sex with somebody like the first time, and it was mind-blowing because she was a professional hooker. Like, generally, the first time's going to be a little awkward or fast.
Right?
But the average person will tolerate 4 to 5 bad sexual encounters with someone before they decide it's just not meant to be.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got 4 dates then.
Keep
Like
fighting
chemistry
through.
and
Keep
stuff.
fighting through it.
Well, that's just, I mean, that's
Fight
just,
through the stink.
that's just being a grown-up. You got to have sex a few times before you realize it's wrong.
A new survey found the most attractive jobs a man can have.
Fireman.
Negative.
Doctor.
Negative.
Lawyer. Accountant.
The hottest job a man can have, the Ted Smith, head chef.
Head chef.
Oh, nice.
Cook
I've
for
been
me.
a chef. That's not true.
Engineer, entrepreneur, something in marketing, and something artistic.
Oh.
Something artistic. Well, it's a good thing I'm unleashing my artisanal breads.
Oh, I know.
And you're a head chef.
The hottest jobs for women, any guesses?
Nurse.
Hooker. Oh.
Nurse, there's number 2, Miles.
Anyone in scrubs.
Middle school teacher.
Teacher, number 4.
Yeah, those
Okay.
chicks are
5.
generally hot.
You go middle school.
They also have
Specifically middle school, not high school.
entrepreneur and lawyer. Number 1 hottest job for women, hairdresser.
You know what I think, based on experience? Dental hygienist.
You are all about the dental
Dental
hygiene.
hygienist, man. There's
I mean, look,
hot dental
you
hygienist.
could go hairdresser, and there's some
Telling you.
attractive ones, but you got to deal. You got to deal with the crazy too.
Just like a woman
Yeah.
with tools in your mouth, Miles?
Oh, dental hygienists are hot.
A city
Some
in
of
China.
them.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, they are.
A city in China is waiving fines for minor traffic violations, but only if the person confesses on social media, tells other people not to do it, and gets more than 20 likes.
You got to get 20 likes. I like that. You got to have a legit friend list.
I need all of my friends right now.
I just don't know if Mike, if you just said, "Hey, I was speeding today. I'm sorry." I don't know that I'd even give that a like.
No! I'd scroll past and say, dumbass, just keep on going.
Especially if I knew it'd help you. Like, sorry, bud. Can't do
Yeah,
it.
like, what did Mike really do? Why is he confessing to this petty crime?
Exactly. An apple on a plane that is free to passengers managed to cost a woman $500. I'll tell you how that happened 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Steve, throw a hook. Could you please tell us how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
All right, Justin, you understand how this here game is played.
Okay.
Fantastilastic. Here's your story. We go to New York City where police are looking for a man wearing a Make America Great Again hat and shirt who shouted racial comments at another man and then pushed him onto the subway tracks. Now, the suspect got into a verbal fight with a 24-year-old man on the northbound 4 train approaching Union Station. The suspect made derogatory statements about the Latino victim's ethnicity in the course of the fight. Specifically, he sought to have accused Mexicans of coming to the country to bring drugs and take jobs. I guess in his mind, the job of drug dealer. Now, the two men, they got off the train at 14th Street, where the suspect then punched the man repeatedly before shoving him onto the subway tracks and then fleeing. Now, the victim's friend and another bystander, they helped him off the tracks. He was treated at a hospital for a head laceration, but the NYPD described the suspect as a heavyset man in blue overalls with a red hat and shirt displaying the slogan, Make America Great Again. They have not found him yet. The question is, do you believe that the suspect, the man who pushed the other guy onto the tracks, is black, white, Asian, or Jew?
I'd love to ask you guys, but I'm going to have to just make this one short and sweet. It's got to be white.
Where was it at again?
New York City.
The New York City subway.
Mm-hmm.
Could be anybody.
He's wearing a MAGA hat.
You said black, white,
shirt.
Asian, or Jewish.
That's correct. Not Mexican. He was going after the perceived Mexican.
But he was going after the Latino dude calling
You're bringing drugs. You're taking our. I don't know what jobs it is they're taking, but whatever segment that is, people are very hostile about that.
I mean, I'm with you, man. It sounds so white. That's the only thing that makes me think it's not white. New York City's got a lot of different people.
If you exist on this earth, you're in New York City somewhere.
That's a crazy one. But we haven't had Asian in a while. It seems interesting that it's in there. Just call her. I'm just going to throw that out there to you.
Asian in blue overall.
Yeah, and the physical part about it seems to take the Jewish part out, although Sinclair Broadcasting would lead you to believe they might believe that.
I mean, look, I'm with you. Overalls, the MAGA hat and shirt, I mean, it sounds pretty white. I feel like he's just got a piece of straw hanging out of his mouth. But it sounds so white that I think Thrill here might be throwing us off the path.
Let's go black.
I'm just giving you the description. That is what they're looking for. Heavy-set man, blue overalls, Make America Great Again hat and shirt.
Justin, let's not guess white. Let's make it anything other than white. He's trying to throw you off the scent. He's trying to throw you off the scent.
I'm giving you the description as the NYPD.
Because the scent says white. This is not white.
Everything about it says white.
So is it black, Asian, or Jewish?
Oh, man. All right. Let's go Asian.
Final answer.
No, I take it back. I take it back.
Oh.
What are you thinking?
Justin?
I haven't heard Jewish in a while.
You're going to go Jewish?
Yeah, why not?
Final answer.
Yep, final
We'll find
answer.
out if he was black, white, Asian, or Jewish next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Profile this week in New York City. And a guy who wants to make America great again. He's got the hat, he's got the shirt, he's got the coveralls. And then he gets into a fight with a guy on a train station and basically pulls him onto the railroad, or pushes him onto the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Before some onlookers actually got him off the tracks. He's okay, but the guy ran off, and there was a description of the man. I'm not sure if they caught him yet or not, but
yeah, the cops, they said, look, as a basic description, it's a heavy-set guy. He's wearing blue overalls, a Make America Great Again hat, and Make America Great Again shirt. Anyway, he ran off, but in the end, we asked, did you believe this guy was black, white, Asian, or Jew? And I want to say Asian was
Jewish.
Jewish.
Justin went Jewish.
No, I'm afraid. Today, wearing overalls, a Make America Great Again hat and shirt, black.
No way!
That's what I thought, but I looked at the surveillance picture and I'm like, that is the damnedest. I mean, down to the overalls. Yeah, and it's a big brother, man.
Oh, man. You never know.
Yeah, it just felt too white.
Everything about that screams. And again, if there was no surveillance footage and you threw this out to the FBI, guaranteed they'd be like, we're looking for a white guy. And
Mike can't believe it.
Mike, try to wrap your head around this.
Is why we play the game, folks. Now, for all the TV news all the time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
I feel like every day I come in here, I'm just bringing bad news. So, more bad news?
No.
From the TV and film world, if you will. Vern Troyer. Everybody remembers him.
Yep.
You probably remember probably his biggest role that everybody would remember him from.
Oh, nice choice of words, Ted.
Well.
Oh.
Don't worry about
it. The role that got him the most recognition was probably the role of Mini-Me.
Dr. Evil, while you were frozen, we began a program to clone you.
Cool.
Send in the clone!
He is exactly like you in every way. Except 1/8 your size.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
You can see a little bit more about his life and death in more of that video, the Men's Room Facebook page. Vern Troyer, from everything I've read, seemed like everybody really liked the guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
It seemed like he was a huge celebrity, if you will, in those circles. He was always that
huge celebrity.
Right.
Come on, Ted.
You're
just being mean now.
I did see one thing today where he was like, back in the day, he was like calling out Paul Pierce. You remember Paul
that's
Pierce?
going to work out well.
Right.
That's going to work out real well.
Don't call me Mini-Me. Like, use my name. Like, what's my vein? What's my vein?
What's my
Damn. Vein? What's my name, Paul? And he was like, he's like, it's Vern. It's Vern Troyer.
We all know that you're not going to get in a fight. So he can say whatever he wants to anybody he wants at any time.
Well, what if it's another little person?
Then he might get into a fight.
I mean, I've seen this before. Ted and I years ago hosting some.
I've been there.
They call
I was
midget
there.
wrestling
I was
thing.
there.
And this guy was like 2'11". He was the smallest wrestler there, and I mean, he was.
But he also looked like Glenn Danzig. You remember that?
Again, if Glenn Danzig were a scale model of himself.
Right, exactly.
But, I mean, this guy, and look, I mean, you could pick this guy and throw it through a window if you wanted. It's like a little kid.
He was just not being a very nice guy that day.
Yeah, but he was kept targeting Ted. Ted walked up to me at one point and said, "Look, man,
I'm going to kill this guy.
I'm going to F this bitch up if he says his head."
Yeah, exactly. As he walked between
and I'm
his
like,
legs.
Ted, you can't hit the guy, man. He's like, "God damn it, I know."
But there's a limit of S-talk, and he was getting close to that limit.
You get the idea from the statements of...
Ted was so mad. It's like, dude...
There's a limit, man. He was going too far.
Hey, look, I got you. I feel you. But no matter what, once it hits the public, the people that weren't there, all they see is that you just beat the living ass out of this guy.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you. I don't know why he targeted you, but I would say if he had targeted me, I probably would have come to you saying, "Ted, keep your eye on me, man, because I'm going to beat this guy's ass."
He was being a jerk in the ring, the whole thing. He was not a nice guy.
But you can't. Yeah. If it had been a dude who's 5'10", you guys would have been in a fight before the end of the night. You'd have fought because you could hit that guy.
He was playing the heel role in a wrestling environment.
But this was kind of.
I know that
after hours.
Right. You don't keep that shtick the whole night.
No, he did.
Unless you want to get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was a shtick.
Yeah, because I've been to other wrestling events and I've met plenty of wrestlers who are the bad guys who are really nice guys.
Yep.
You actually like them. It doesn't stop you from
Okay, I've got a couple
F
questions. So first of all, we understand this. We understand that he had some problems. That he
alcohol
problems,
Vern Troyer,
and suicide problems, and all this stuff.
Yeah, battled depression.
And the statement from his family pretty well confirms that he had been battling depression.
That was not a
thoughts.
secret, man. Yeah.
So okay, so they explain how he basically passed away in not so many words, but they also said that he was, he'd been hospitalized either a few days or a few weeks before that based on alcohol poisoning.
Pretty recently, yeah.
So here's my question. I don't know I know he was short. I don't know how much he weighed, but as someone who only weighs whatever he weighed, I do a shot, you do a shot, Ted, you do a shot. Now, if he does a shot, based on how big he is,
his body weight and all that,
how long, I mean, if he's an alcoholic, what does that mean? That Vern can have a beer?
I mean, you got to think.
You know what I'm saying?
We just watched the documentary on Andre the Giant.
That's exactly where I was going to go with
this. If you have not seen it, it's actually a very fascinating thing. But one of the things about him, and he was notorious for his voracious alcohol appetite. But understand, he wasn't drinking to get drunk. He enjoyed alcohol. But because of his sheer size, the amount of booze
that he had to drink,
that this guy put away without necessarily getting drunk is much different than anyone. So you have to think, right. Downsides for Vern Troyer, like, all right, how much alcohol is this guy consuming a night?
It couldn't have been hard for him.
2'8" or something.
It couldn't have been hard for him to be an alcoholic. Is what I'm saying is he has 2 beers and he's is he in the bag or is he not? I don't know.
But that's the difference. It's harder to be an alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic, you are an alcoholic.
Yeah,
it's just easier for him to get drunk.
Okay, man. But that's part of it though. Like what I mean. If you enjoy it and it's great, I would have to think that like he can't do 2 beers at dinner, can he? Could he? Maybe he can.
I think he probably did, which was part of the problem. But if that's the equivalent of us crushing a 6-pack at dinner alone, then right.
I mean, look, you're right in theory. He shouldn't have been able to drink that much because he's that small. But I've seen some tiny women put away a lot of booze too.
I have too.
But he was extremely. I mean, he had dwarfism.
Yeah, right. That's right. I mean, like, are we talking 60
For what
pounds
I can tell,
here?
right? I don't know, man. I don't know that he would have made more than like 40 or 50.
Okay.
How tall?
He was 2'8".
Wow.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain little people is just a polite way or the correct way, if I should say polite.
But it's also,
but there's also
like
there's
4'11"
right, there's a
down
difference
or
between being like a dwarf and
I mean,
being
it's all
short.
divided up.
Yeah. So you're right. I'm sure he could have. You know what? I don't
know either.
He could have had tiny little glasses of stuff. I bet that would have been like, oh, he's having a glass of wine. But see, I mean, I watched The Surreal Life with him. Did you guys ever see that show?
I did not.
So The Surreal Life was on VH1, and basically they put a bunch of like Flavor Flav. That's where he met the tall
Brigitte Nielsen. Yeah.
Right, and they started
everyone
dating.
saw that relationship coming.
So this show was kind of like let's just put a bunch of random celebrities in this house and let them have booze and do whatever they want. But Vern Troyer, he was pretty famous for kind of every night ending up on his little cart pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
he's with 49 years old. That's pretty young.
Yeah, man. Right. Nobody wants to see that stuff. That's always sad. And it is sad, man. And like I said, everything, it sounds like he had a serious issue with the booze, but sounds like everybody liked him.
Yeah.
And it was cool hanging out with him.
I'm not trying to be a jerk. This is a legitimate question because I don't know. But if you die, and in this case, he's 2'11", and I'm going to say if they put him in a casket, traditionally a pallbearer's 6 people are hauling out the casket. It is for someone in a standard sized casket.
Maybe 4. Maybe
honestly,
4
God, is it even long enough for 4 people? And I'm not even trying to be funny, but it's at 2'11". Right, and you put them in a casket. I mean, the thing's not going to be more than 3.5, 4 feet long.
And there's nothing worse than visibly seeing that. I've seen it one time in my life.
A tiny coffin.
And it was absolutely one of the most just soul-crushing moments. I'll never forget it.
Because you don't think someone with dwarfism, you think kid.
No, exactly. Right, yeah. You just go, oh, God. It's horrible.
Good news.
Yeah. You brought it up.
Michael J. Fox is recovering from his spinal surgery. So
that's good.
This is better news.
That is good news.
Just trying to get out of this one.
Yeah, sure.
You might remember he has Parkinson's.
That's right.
Great.
This is unrelated to his
Parkinson's.
They say he's recovering great, feeling great, looking forward to getting back on the golf course this this summer. That's what everybody does.
Damn, Ted.
He plays golf still?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, man.
Huh.
It's Michael J. Fox. Like he was
Boy,
Michael,
that makes me feel horrible
Michael,
about my game now.
Mm-hmm. What's your excuse?
No excuse.
Yeah.
You ever notice that anytime he's on TV, I don't remember the show, but I keep seeing the commercials like, and Michael J. Fox for the rest of the season, whatever the show is. And so he comes in, however many episodes are left. But I realize as they're talking about this, if Michael J. Fox appears on anything that's fictional, it's not like if he's going to be on Ellen, but if he's going to be on
He
Law
came
and
out
Order.
late like Spin City, right?
Right, yeah. But I mean, like, they treat it like it is the biggest frickin' deal in the world. And I realize as I'm hearing this, like, right, anytime he does anything on TV, they're like, Michael J. Fox. It's such a privilege and a pleasure to see him. It's like, dude, he's a TV actor. We see him all the time.
He must be thinking to himself, they're really taking this too far.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm just trying to act, man.
I'm still an actor. Still a human being. I'm still here.
If you watch boxing at all, you've probably heard this man's name. Phil will know exactly what I'm talking about. So this boxer's name is Adrian Broner.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Broner.
Broner.
Nicknames himself The Problem. Basically, think of Floyd Mayweather's mouth without the big-time victories to really back it up.
Slightly less talented
Broner
skill
is
set.
he's a very good boxer, but he gets to a certain level, doesn't seem like he can win. He was fighting Jesse Vargas, and it was a draw, and you'll see why he's the problem.
The decision is a majority draw.
Paulie Malignaggi, the prophet.
It was a close fight.
Worthy of running it back.
Possibly.
Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Mo. Thank you very much.
Hey, man, all that. All that. Man, let me see the mic. Hey, I beat
Hold on.
I beat your look at his face. It looked like I beat him what they beat my Martin Luther King with, man.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm an honest man. We went at it for 12 rounds. That's what it was.
Go at it. That's
We can do it again. We
go at it. It's
We can do it again.
I beat your
We can do it again.
I beat you like you stole something. I beat you like you got suspended from school. I beat you like you stole my bike.
We can go again tomorrow if you want.
Huh? You
heard me.
You bruised up.
I'm ready to fight right now, fool.
Come on, man. Your face cut up. You need peroxide. You need peroxide and alcohol.
You need to settle down.
You need peroxide and alcohol. Boy, your face on 6'9" right now. You a blood.
Ted, is that Chris Tucker?
No. So what he
sounds
did there,
just like him.
so he got in some homophobic slur kind of.
Yeah,
when he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, one at it, like that's gay." That's
But
gay.
did he confuse Martin Luther King and Rodney King?
Nah.
I'm going to beat your ass like Martin Luther King. What other king has been in a fight? I can't think of any other. What other king could he possibly be talking about?
You're giving this guy way too much credit.
Okay, all right.
And I it might not be his document. I'm sure Dr. King took a few.
He did, but
he might have confused
that's
it.
not.
But Broner is just going off. He's got.
Okay.
He always has to. I don't know what the homophobic stuff is. He blasted off. Like
He's in boxing. That's what it is.
Yeah, but he's a. I hate saying this because it's his nickname, but he legit is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, and then later on when he's talking about Vargas, he's like, yeah, we could play again, or we'll fight again. We'll run it back, but it's got to be in my hometown because there's too many Mexicans here. Then he starts ripping on
Jesus
Mexicans.
Christ.
Like, I mean, the guy's he just is what it is. He's
The Vargas is going to
racist.
beat his ass.
Yeah, exactly. He's also been beefing with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Everybody knows that. Thus the blood comment at the end there.
Yeah, you want to get involved in that too. That's exactly who you want to piss off.
Well,
when you can't beat any of the best, you shouldn't call out everybody. And he's one of those guys.
Right, that's
and
the
like
big
Ted
issue
said,
with Broner. He
is
doesn't win these fights. Like, if you want to be that next level, like at least with Mayweather, he has the belts and the record to back it up.
He annoys you, but he keeps winning. Right. That's the thing with Mayweather. Like, you almost have to listen to him run his mouth because no one can beat him. Broner, it's like, man, every time I've seen you in a title fight, the opportunity you want, here is it's like, no offense to Vikings fans, most of you aren't old enough to know this, but if you go to and lose the Super Bowl every time you go, people just want you to stop going.
Or the Bills.
You keep getting these title fights, and then you get worked because the best, there's a clear difference between the best in this field and where he is.
Correct. And
he's very good.
Sounds to me like they're going to have another fight anyway.
And get paid more.
Yeah. I mean, so he's going to fight the guy again, it sounds like.
He might. I don't. That was a good fight for them. and basically, Broner's just one of those guys. He doesn't do anything the first 6 rounds, and then he dominates the last 6 rounds. But
he's lost the first.
It's a 12-round fight. Thus, you get a draw.
Well, that's back to Mayweather. Talk about watching something that's boring. I will give Mayweather that. He can win, but it sure is boring.
Yeah.
So they both have that style going for him.
Yeah, but the thing is, even Mayweather doesn't do anything. He won't lose more than 2 rounds out of the first set. I mean, that's honestly. I mean, like he's not that fun to watch because he's so defensive. He's slippery. He's hard to hit. But like he doesn't lose in spite of not doing anything. He still doesn't lose the rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
And he makes money.
This is a pretty strange one. Allison Mack. She was on a Superman TV show called Smallville. Okay. Smallville was about, I want to say, Superman. Maybe when he was a child or some stuff. But she got arrested Friday in part of an alleged sex cult.
You know, I didn't know who she was.
Sex cult.
Like, whoa, man.
This guy apparently has his own brand. And when I say brand, I mean like cattle prod brand, that he would brand the genitalia of the ladies that were in his cult.
Jesus Christ.
So if you were to happen to be in that area, you would see his initials there.
The guy's name, was Keith Rainier? And he branded his initials in the woman's pelvic area before forcing them into sex slavery.
That is
they say that she helped recruit people into this self-help network called Nexium. It's basically a pyramid scheme that with courses costing thousands of dollars. There's a shocker. But yeah, basically they're like, man, they were sex slaves. They said the treatment even included being sleep deprived and starved to the point that their menstrual cycles stopped. Yeah,
and when they arrested this guy,
in prison.
When they arrested this guy in Mexico or some weird place wherever they finally caught up to him because they've been looking for him for a while, she ran out. She was there, and she chased the goddamn police car all the way through town to the police station. She ran after the police car the entire way. This is how crazy the situation is.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
Somebody comes and gets somebody in your family member, you don't physically run behind the police car all the way to and know where the police...
Because we're not crazy.
Exactly. Like, this is absolutely bat-ass nuts.
Yeah.
I thought I was nuts. This takes the cake.
Right. Well, they're putting stuff they're putting people into a sex cult.
That is...
But I don't think you get much worse than that. And generally, that's the way these things kind of work. You have anything kind of that weird and twisted, like, people involved are going to be pretty twisted with their own or you've twisted their thoughts. Either way,
you've been brainwashed.
That level of loyalty is going to stick there. Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Yeah. Smallville actress arrested for her part in alleged sex cult.
Yeah.
Just not what you would have seen.
Yeah, there's just some
She
headlines.
looks like a very normal person. Like, you look at a picture of her and you're like, this does not look like the person I see in us that I would expect to see if I entered a sex cult. You know, it's like...
it's not. When you look at her picture, that's
this is
not
someone
it.
who, like, sells pottery or something, you know.
Sells you candles.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm in the Yankee Candle Company. She's very nice. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. There you go. TV Time with Tim. We've got your headlines on the way with Mike here in just a few minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man arrested after striking boyfriend with singing Big Mouth Billy Bass. Meanwhile, Delta gives passenger an apple to eat. TSA slaps a $500 ticket on their ass. Honda says 62,000 ticking time bombs are still on the road. A man has so many encounters with scary animals, your head will explode. And a drunk driver crashes into another in Indiana. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
On a flight back to Colorado from Paris, a woman accepted a complimentary apple from attendants during the flight and decided to save it for later and put it in her carry-on bag. When she hit the ground in Colorado, the customs agent asked her if her trip to Paris was expensive. When she asked why, he replied that it was about to get a lot more expensive after he tacked on a $500 charge for the apple in her bag.
What is the reasoning behind that? Unless they're asking to be punched in the face.
Is it one of those quarantine things where you can't bring foreign fruits and vegetables?
I mean, I'm sure that's what it is, and I fathom that, but it was
on the plane.
Mike, there are two very important questions when you come back in from customs. Have you been on a farm and pet a goat? Do you have any fruit or vegetables? Other than that, they don't give an F what you have on you.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
If you were on a ground, if you got mud on your shoe from a farm, and there's obviously a good reason for this.
Sure.
But you can't do that.
You're honest about the goat thing, though.
Oh, dude, I'm dead serious. Like, if you, touch the chicken's head, you might not be able to get back in the country. You rode a horse. There's all kinds of things.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, she does, the woman plans to fight the fine in court for exactly what you're saying, Ted. Really? For an apple that I got on the plane, you're going to tack on a $500 charge?
Like, I didn't know that, but so I understand the purpose of quarantine. Quarantine serves a very good purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But if the apple already made it here, what does my $500 do? Because to be honest with you, if fighting if fighting invasive diseases only costs $500, I'll give you $500 now and shut up about it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
how does that solve the problem?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the idea behind it. Just.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes people are just out to get your money. Sometimes you just did something innocent, and they take your money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. In other news, we go to Florida, where a man made an interesting weapon choice during an altercation with his boyfriend. The couple had an altercation that ended with one going into the den and playing with his big mouth Billy Bass, which the other said was done to, quote, just to aggravate him. After throwing the fish away when his partner left the room, the man retrieved it from the garbage and hurled it at his boyfriend, causing a laceration on his head.
Yeah, you don't want to be hit with one of those.
No! It's a plaque!
Not only that, it's a collector's item.
Is it?
Yes.
Who's collecting it, though?
People who appreciate fine art.
Yeah.
Hoarders.
The big mouth. Exactly.
They don't make those anymore.
He was arrested for domestic battery.
Yeah.
Of fish.
That's a great story.
It still sings. You just need a battery in it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, totally.
I saw one that was powered by
Why
Alexa.
would you throw that away? Why is that what you take your rage out on?
No, because the other guy kept playing it and you got sick.
He went in there, he just kept on playing it over and over and over again. He left to go, go to the bathroom or something like that, and the guy threw it away.
It too.
Right. In Indiana, we talked about this during the shot of the day. Two drunk drivers managed to meet each other on the roads. One of the drivers lost control while getting onto the freeway on-ramp and launched herself into the car of the other. Fortunately, only a couple people involved in the accident were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Yes, there's a lot to this story. There's a lot of layers.
There is.
There's a lot of layers.
Like, oh, man, you swerved across the road. Oh, he's drunk, too?
That is actually something that I was looking for, though, is the damage that was done during these accidents, because you always hear about it. Whoever was drunk in the accident, they're, for the most part, completely fine. If you've got two cars full of drunk people...
Well, legally, they're both in the same boat for DWI because they got a DW. But as far as insurance goes, I would still think it's going to be on her. The one thing that they do admit about the guy whose car got hit, he was drunk, but he was actually slowing down to come to a stop at the stop sign. So
I was going to say something in that realm, but it just didn't seem politically correct. Like, you should not be doing that. But you didn't cause an accident.
He did not cause the accident.
I mean, that's the facts
difference.
of the matter. I mean, he was out doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, obviously, and he could have caused a real problem.
But he did.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Didn't.
His insurance is going to go up, but her insurance is going to pay for the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's irrelevant when you got to pay for a DUI. Right. I mean, just because an idiot slammed into you.
Exactly.
Even though you were drunk.
Even though
at the
you were
time.
like, I'm like, yes, it's so multi-layered.
That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the Drunken Charge. Ryan Castle into Sin Spin, another round of Profile This, and we will drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It is all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.